Throws his towel away.
Just threw his towel away. Both of the punters used towels. They carry it out there before they punt the ball like a security blanket.
Like Linus, huh? And Corral with kind of a line drive affair. Dwight Hicks to return this punt, and Hicks to the 40-yard line. And that's where San Francisco will have it. The 49ers scoring on a 39-yard field goal by Ray Wershing. And then Cullen Bryant scoring from 21 yards out at the 5:46 mark of the second quarter. The point after making it 7-3. We'll be back at the 1:49 mark. All-Pro defensive end Jack Youngblood sitting on his helmet. I thought coaches didn't allow that.
I sure did. I didn't worry about how they rested. I just worried about how they played. And if they played like that guy, they could rest any way they wanted.
You'd bring a sofa out for him.
I sure would.
44-yard kick that time by Corral. 3-yard return at the 40-yard line. San Francisco with the ball. Joe Montana started today in place of Steve DeBerg. Gets it off to Cooper. And Earl Cooper having a very, very fine first half of play. Picks up 5 yards. Johnny Johnson rams him out at the 45. And Earl Cooper just doing a little bit of everything in this game, and very effectively. Larry Brooks that time put some pressure on Montana. Second down 5. That stopped the clock with 1:43, and you see that in the upper right-hand portion of your screen. The first game this year, the Rams blitzed this 49er team 46-28, but right now a different story as you look at the stats of Montana. There's a little delay to Cooper. Didn't fool anybody. As you saw that time, Montana tried to fool that on-rushing line of Los Angeles, but John, nobody was fooled on that play.
That was what we call a carry-back draw. Usually the quarterback drops back on a draw and he hands the ball to the fullback in front of him. On this one, he drops back past the fullback and then reaches around and hands it to him in front of him again.
You see Malavasi saying, be aware of the timeouts. Should they stop him here? Third down. Now 9 yards to go. They lost 4 on that play. Woods, no place to go, and they're going to have to kick the football.
And they'll take a timeout, too.
That's what they're going to do. You know, Malavasi's talking with his hands just like you used to. Did he learn that from you?
I think maybe I learned that from him. You know, he's Italian and I'm Irish, and I think the Italians tend to do that more than.
Back deep is Irvin. And Miller hit a beauty. Leroy Irvin at the 11-yard line. 15. Has some running room to the 25. He'll make it to the 31, and that's where the Rams will have it with 46 seconds. See, Miller isn't too happy, but I thought he hit that one pretty well. I guess you get to the point where you want perfection after a while.
Well, they do. I think what he wanted was probably for the ball to hang a little longer so that they wouldn't get that run back. He wanted to put them where they had to start inside the 20, and they're starting on the 31.
That was a 48-yard kick.
Yes, with a 20-yard return, and I think that's why Miller was upset. He really wanted a 48-yard kick with no return.
From the 31 now, the Rams with a 7-3 lead. The number 2 ranked quarterback in the NFC, only behind Danny White of Dallas, Vince Ferragamo. Ferragamo with time, lots of time. Drew Hill, what a catch, what a catch. Nobody touched him, did he? That's Willie Miller. Correction, Willie Miller, nobody had touched him, and he could have gotten up quicker and headed up the field. Boy, what a catch that time.
As we see it here, the 49ers have gone to their prevent or their 3-man line. They have trouble getting there with 4. They sure aren't going to get there with 3. They gave Ferragamo time to set up to throw. They gave Miller time to run through their defense, which he did. They're making a change now in their defense.
So that play to Willie Miller. Boy, what a job. Remarkable catch by this veteran. Setting the ball up to the 24-yard line. First down. Pressure by Archie Reese. In the corner. Touchdown. Beautiful catch by Drew Hill.
I'll tell you, and that was a beautiful pass by Vince Ferragamo because he did have pressure on him that time, and that's the most difficult thing a quarterback has to do. You know, they can throw the ball, but when they throw it with someone hanging on one side of him, that's a tough throw. Now, he was beaten. Reese came from the other side, from the side of Irv Pankey, and but I'll tell you, Vince Ferragamo hung in there and threw a big pass. That was a big play.
24 yards. That's the first touchdown catch this year for Drew Hill. Ferragamo just getting better every week.
He sure is. He may be too good looking, but he can sure play this game.
I think he could have played for you, right?
He sure could.
Terrell, point after attempt. And this Los Angeles team now with a 14-3 lead. As Ferragamo hit hard by Archie Reese. Let's look at it again and just see what pressure he was under.
We'll see it again. He gets the pressure. I said Irv Pankey. It was really Doug Smith that Reese went right by, and as we see, Ferragamo is bailing out to the left side. And that really shows the strength of arm.
Charles Johnson out of Grambling, trying desperately to get back there, could not. James Owens, that should be Terry Anderson and James Owens back. This is Owens, out to the 15, 20. Look at this. James Owens to the 30, 35, and he's a very exciting young football player. A flag on the play. Owens out of UCLA. Drew Hill over there to make the tackle, but Fred Silva and his crew have spotted something. It's going to be clipping against San Francisco. That's first down. 17 seconds left in the first half. Montana. Cooper. The 30. Look at this big rookie run out to the 40-yard line. Stops the clock with 10 seconds. Earl Cooper in this first half having a big afternoon. Yardage in a hurry on that one.
With 10 seconds here, they have time to complete a pass, take a timeout, and go for a field goal.
They do have all three of their timeouts remaining. Cooper, I was mentioning the day he's having as you look at Ray Wershing trying to stay loose on the sideline. Well, now here is the Big Ben play. They have three wide receivers at the bottom of the screen. Montana going to go the other way, though. He's a wide Clark. He dropped the football. Tell you, he would have had a catch at about the 30 with 4 seconds left.
See, they did have time to hit that ball about the 25-yard line and then run in and kick a field goal, because with 10 seconds left, they had the time to do it. And you were right. They lined up in a Big Ben formation with the three wide receivers on this side, and then they went to the other side.
So it's going to bring up second down with 4 seconds left. So now it has to be Big Ben, right?
It has to be one of those type of things.
They have Easton Ransom, Charles Young, and Freddie Solomon at the bottom. And Montana looking that way. Here we go. Young makes the catch, but time is going to expire at the 5-yard line. So Young, if he could have tipped it up, they might have had a chance at a deflection to take it on in. But the first half will end at the 5-yard line, and the first half ending in favor of the Rams 14-3. But I think Bill Walsh saw some things that encouraged him in this first half.
I think his defense is doing a good job. Ray Malavasi is still talking about that one play. He has it marked. He even has it marked. Ray, it's all over. 14-3.
Didn't hurt a thing.
No.
No score in Game 5 of the World Series. And what did Billy Sims do against Walter Payton? You'd like to know? Well, there it is. Payton 27 for 101 yards. Sims 14 for only 53 yards. And the afternoon in Chicago belonged to Vince Evans, the quarterback out of the University of Southern California, who took over for Mike Phipps this week, dove in for that touchdown, and watch him now go long to James Scott.
Evans had a real good day, Brent, completing only 5 passes and 8 attempts for 172 yards, and Scott came up with 2 big bombs.
Now it was Roland Harper working inside. The Lions looking for number 34 and 35 and got him on the board. It was 17-0. Gary Danielson here to Leonard Thompson.
Danielson threw the ball real well today, Brent, but the Lions just couldn't muster enough offense to knock off the Bears. 15 for 27 and 203 yards, just 1 TD.
Now here's the bomb that Irv mentioned. James Scott healthy again, and ooh, did Vince go downtown. Shades of his days with the Trojans. All right, Philadelphia now all alone atop the NFC East. They win at 17-10. Listen to this. The Cowboys were held to 32 yards rushing in that game. Cleveland comes back as Sipe goes 24 of 39 for 391 yards, a career high, and 2 touchdowns. Washington with a rout. Joe Theismann with a career high 37 yards on 21 completions and 31 attempts. Cincinnati shuts out Minnesota, first time in 7 seasons that the Vikes have been shut out. Seattle rallies to down the Jets. Listen to this. Seattle's 4-0 on the road, 0-3 back home in Seattle. Miami 17, Buffalo 14. All 3 Miami scores set up by Joe Cribb's fumbles. And the final score, Chicago 24, Detroit 7. Now New England turned it loose on Baltimore. 37-21. New England scored the last 20 points in that game after trailing it 21-17. Atlanta big over New Orleans, and now the Saints are still winless. Bartkowski, 202 yards on 16 of 28 and 2 touchdowns. Kansas City finally beats Craig Morton, 23-17. They came from behind after trailing 17-13 in the third period. Many of you are watching this game. San Diego making it look easy. Fouts 2 TDs, 29 to Jefferson, 10 to Joyner. And Tampa Bay trailing Houston 13-7, but Doug Williams has thrown a 17-yard touchdown pass to Gordon Jones. Stabler goes 17 to Mike Barber. And, of course, the rest of you are watching this count. Doesn't Ferragamo look good? 14-3 was the count there. We've got some interesting plays to show you, and the Eagle-Cowboy game was a marvelous confrontation. It wasn't the game of the day. It was the game of the year. And it all came down to this play right here. With the score tied, Jaworski found Charles Smith 15 yards. Irv, then the Cowboys went down. Was it close for Roynell Young interfering with Tony Hill here?
Very close call. From this angle, it looks as though he climbs all over the receiver's back. Pass interference should have been called. The official didn't see it that way. The Eagles came up with a win.
Here's Joe Theismann now going to Ricky Thompson. Boy, do they need a running game in Washington.
Only if they get John Riggins back, right?
Now, Archie Manning had the Saints rolling. Watch him hit Wes Chandler here. This combination has been quiet, but then Atlanta came back with a vengeance. And now, watch what happened here. Ferguson going to Joe Cribbs. Possible Rookie of the Year in the AFC. Turns it loose. It is scooped up by the Dolphins, and they dash on in for the touchdown. Now, how about Len Dickey of the Green Bay Packers? Looked for a while like they were going to win it.
Looked like they were going to come up with a big win indeed. Here's a touchdown catch to Lofton, and things seem to be well under control.
Then watch what happened. 25 seconds to go. Sipe simply throws it up for grabs. What about the secondary here?
I couldn't understand this. The Green Bay Packers were in an all-out blitz in a prevent situation. That's what happens when you live by the dog, you die by the dog.
Kenny Anderson going to 84. Don Bass good for 55 yards against the Vikes.
Oh, gee. Well, I'm sure Cincinnati fans are happy to see that. Anderson connecting once again.
Here's a blocked punt, and it is Sam McCullum who blocked it, and it is recovered by Green for Seattle. That was the first of two key moments against the Jets. Then it was Jim Jodak, the former Ram, busting across for still another touchdown, and Seattle had pulled it out, and Walt Michaels, oh, so unhappy. Jack Whitaker's coming up as the NFL Today continues on CBS after these messages from your local station.
Field goal. Only points for San Francisco in the first 30 minutes. He really powers this one. Drew Hill going back. Boy, did he get into that one. They will not return it. It'll bring the football out to the 20-yard line. The 20, Preston Denard. And Willie Miller flanked out for the Rams, who are looking for their 5th straight win of this year. Ferragamo to Cullen. Bryant, and a big fullback, is out to the 28-yard line. Cullen Bryant just keeps coming at you. In that first half, he had 18 yards on 7 carries. Dwight Hicks making the tackle for San Francisco. Second down, 2 yards to go. Ferragamo to Mike Gooman. Gooman has the first down as he comes across the 30 to the 32. Question, Pat Hayden will be coming back very soon. Question is when. Ferragamo back. Willie Miller. Hayden was on the sideline at the start of this game in civilian clothes. He kind of thought he was going to be activated today.
He did. He said that he practiced all week, and he thought they were going to activate him today. And he said he feels for sure that he'll be activated next week.
Second down, 10. There is Elvis Peacock. This guy had a remarkable game earlier this year, 114 yards against San Francisco. Not playing today because of a groin injury he suffered last week. So the Rams showing that they have the depth. As good a depth probably as anybody in the NFC, maybe the NFL. Here's Bryant again, and Colin Bryant. Kind of a meat and potatoes offense on that one. He just comes right back at you, short of the 40-yard line, and about 2 yards short of a first down. You saw that score in that World Series game, a 2-run homer by Mike Schmidt. Here's Gooman again, and Gooman powers into the San Francisco end of the field at the 49. Dwight Hicks made the stop. John, I get the feeling at halftime they said, we're just going to run right at him.
I was just talking about Big Doug France, and did he do a job on Jimmy Webb here, as we'll see right at the top of the picture. You see him take Webb out there. Gooman cut right off it and made the first down.
I don't know how Webb can play with that hand completely taped up with a cast. I can see where an offensive lineman could, but defensively, that's really got to be tough.
Well, it's hard. The only advantage he has is his inside hand, and he has his outside hand that he can grab.
On the 49, a first down, Ferragamo Hicks, and it's intercepted by Dwight Hicks. Victor Hicks and Dwight Hicks comes away with it, and that's the turnover the 49ers might need. That's only their third interception this year.
That is, and I'm sure that Vince Ferragamo read that defense wrong. He thought it was a double zone. He thought he would have Hicks to the inside like he did earlier in the game. He threw it up there. Dwight Hicks was there and made the interception. He thought he was rotating to the outside.
Sets it up now at the 36 of San Francisco. Montana on first down. Youngblood with some pressure, so Cooper couldn't get to the ball. Youngblood messed that play up. Stats on Montana. Second down, 10. Don Woods. Woods, a little running room. Stays on his feet to the 43-yard line. Woods has done a pretty good job. Larry Brooks over there. An assist from Nolan Cromwell. Chance on Woods, as we mentioned. Third down and 4. Solomon, he made the catch. Freddie Solomon then tries to get up. That was a fine catch by this young man from Tampa University, and that will give the 49ers a first down. And boy, he caught this one right off the top of the grass.
Pat Thomas thought that he didn't catch it, but again, here, that's a heck of a throw by Montana. He gets it in there, and Solomon's able to catch it just before it hits the ground.
Beautiful 13-yard pickup. And San Francisco with that interception. Look at this. Ooh. You get up, you better be ready to pay for it, huh? Johnny Johnson doubling back to make that tackle. On the 44, first down for the Niners. Montana. Solomon has it beaten. And it is intercepted, I believe. It is by Pat Thomas. Thomas took that ball away from Solomon.
He sure did. It was a great effort by Thomas. It looked like Solomon had him beat for a step here. I think Montana took a little too much off the ball. He lays it up there. It's up in the air a little too long. Thomas catches up and makes a great interception. The ball, Thomas, everyone arrives at the same time. He comes up with it.
Setting it up now at the 7-yard line. Ferragamo to Cullen Bryant. Bryant out across the 10, 15. He has a first down to the 19-yard line. 47 yards. Los Angeles this year has 5 interceptions, but gone for touchdowns. They've made things happen. Here's Willie Miller.
6. Halloween coming up? That's pretty soon?
I think it is. I hope it is for their sake. Here's Gooman. And Gooman's going very little. He's going to make it across the 25, maybe the 26, and that'll bring up third down and still a good 3 yards to go. The 49er fans now. They'd like to see their team hold here. Ferragamo to throw. Pressure put on by Reese. He gets it off to Cullen Bryant. And Bryant has the first down out to the 38-yard line. Terry Tutolo over to make the stop. That's again Archie Reese coming up the middle, almost getting to Ferragamo, only to see both times Vince complete the pass.
This is a tough pattern here. You see they fake to the halfback to Gooman. Then they run the fullback Cullen Bryant through. The middle linebacker has to take him. He didn't see him. He thought it was a run. He was reading Gooman, and then he let Bryant sneak out into the flat.
Bryant, who started his career as a defensive back. Did you ever switch very many guys in Oakland from offense to defense?
Well, you know, we were going to switch him. He was an offensive back in high school. He was a strong safety at Colorado, and we thought that he could be a running back.
And you were right. Gooman on a first down to the 45-yard line. Picks up 5. Now 4. Here's Gooman again, doing some workmanlike efforts at the middle to the 48-yard line. He's going to be short of the first down. It's another third down for Los Angeles. Calhoun, Jim Stuckey. Stuckey is number 79. He's the guy that was their second first-round pick out of Clemson. There he is. He's been really banged up. He's had all kinds of hip, ankle injuries. Rams are 6 of 10 on third down conversions. Gooman, and did he get it? Very close. Stuckey was over there. Now, whether he was able to, looks like they're going to mark it.
Well, there's a flag over there, too.
See Malavasi saying it's a first down, if he has anything to say about it.
Usually when the down markers are in front of your bench and you have a little chance to help, you usually get the first down, and they will this time with a 15-yard penalty, probably piling on or hitting after he was out of bounds.
That's going to move the ball all the way to the 38-yard line of San Francisco, and that changes the complexion.
Defense, personal foul, number 33. Hitting out of bounds. First
Ricky
down.
Churchman. Well, draft pick. They were saying this week he has an IQ of 121. Very bright young man. He played with Derek Hatchett along with Johnny Johnson in that Texas backfield. Here's Ferragamo. And the touchdown catch by Preston Denard. No, he dropped it. Denard had it and dropped it. You won't see him do that very often. Charles Johnson, the man they were picking on again in that cornerback spot.
They were picking on Charles Johnson here, and he didn't go up for the ball. He had pretty good coverage. He had good position, but he didn't go up for the ball at the end. Watch right here. He just lets the thing go up and get taken away from him. Excuse me, he did go up for it. That was pretty good. That's what a coach, you know, that's why a coach says after a game, he said, I want to see the films first before I say anything. Because as a coach, you're watching and you think you see something, but you don't always see the right thing. And you can get on someone and you're wrong. And it's hard to apologize on Monday.
Especially those officials, right?
I never apologize to them.
On a 2nd and 10, Ferragamo. This time Hicks is down there. Good coverage by Churchman. Ricky Churchman had the inside coverage all the way. I'll tell you, they are shooting darts at this secondary of San Francisco. They must lay awake at night after every game thinking about trying to recall all the things that were thrown at them. Has come in. Number 63 defensively for San Francisco on 3rd and 10. Reese really hits Ferragamo. Gilman has dropped short of the first down. And I'll tell you, Archie Reese really unloaded on Ferragamo. Ooh. Bobby Leopold made the tackle that saved the first down at the 30-yard line. Reese has been in that backfield all afternoon long.
He sure has, and Doug Smith has been having a tough time with Archie Reese. And you know, one thing, when a guard misses a pass protection, that tackle is very close to the quarterback, and he's coming right up in his face.
A field goal attempt. Corral will attempt a 47-yarder. This year, his longest was 42. This would be his longest if he makes it. Holds. Corral's kick is on the way. It's good. Frank Corral adds 3 points. And it's now 17-3 in favor of Los Angeles. Corral hit that one very well. It looked like that calf muscle bothered him too much.
I'm Brent Musburger with an update out of San Diego. The Chargers opened up a 21-point lead on the New York Giants. Then Rick Partridge was back to punt. The snap was high, went through his hands, and Partridge did everything but stick a fork in it. The Giants had it, 1st and goal, and from there, Billy Taylor dove across for the touchdown, but the Chargers went right back down and got one of their own. Now, let's take a look and show you exactly what happened. Here it is. Next sequence, Fouts sent one man in motion for an extra blocker, really, and got the easy touchdown. So let's send you back now to Gary Bender.
Frank Corral with that 47-yard field goal makes it 17-3. Bobby Farrell and James Owens are back deep, but Charlie Young's going to take it instead. And the big tight end was ran over. Bobby Leopold takes it out of bounds at the 24-yard line. So Corral, after booting that field goal, didn't get too much on that kickoff. Understand the injury to Eddie Hill, who went out early in this game, was a bruised leg. He will not return. That's the reason we've been seeing so much of Guman at that running back spot.
And of course, we already had Elvis Peacock out. Wendell Tyler hasn't played it down yet this year, so that's 4 injured halfbacks that started out with the Rams this year.
49ers trailing 17-3. 6.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Montana, he's going to run. There's a flag. Montana to Solomon. Oh, he hit. Held it hard by Johnny Johnson.
Yards.
That's right. 15-yard line now. 1st and 20. 49ers need to get a big play. Don Woods. Woods, a little running room out to the 19-yard line. And that's going to bring up a 2nd down. Bob starting for the first time this year in place of DeBerg, who had 5 interceptions last week against Dallas. Look out, Fanning is there. Mike Fanning dropping Montana back to the 7. That one did not develop very well at all.
Well, they didn't pick up the line stunt. The As we see it here, the end, Jack Youngblood comes to the inside. The tackle, Fanning, goes to the outside. They didn't pick up the crossing man on the outside.
That's 5 sacks this year for Mike Fanning. You know, he came in last year when Cody Jones was out of an injury, and he's tried to keep that starting job. He hasn't really done that, but he's playing a lot.
Well, they play a lot. They play 6 defensive linemen in the 4 positions.
That's the 2nd sack of the game for L.A. That's intended for Dwight Clark. And very good coverage by Rod Perry. The 49ers going to have to kick the football.
In Atlanta.
Irvin at the 45, 40. And he has some momentum build up. He's to the 25, to the 20-yard line. Good return by Leroy Irvin. Irvin came in here 7th in the NFC in punt returns, averaging 9.2, and that'll help that average considerably, as he does an excellent job setting his team up deep in San Francisco's end of the field. We cut now to a 3rd down, a short yard to go. Everybody in tight on this play. Ferragamo to Bryant, and I think he fell forward for the 1st down.
Now that's where strength comes in. He really didn't have it, but those shoulders and that leg strength just drove, and he fell for the 1st down.
With a great late drive. Jeff Morris checked into wide receiver. 1st and goal. And wait a minute. They didn't get it off. That'll be an away of gain. That's a costly 5-yarder.
That one's too much time.
Yes, sir. Ferragamo, I don't know what he was taking all that time for, as that will step back 5 yards and move it out to the 14.
Offense delay.
2 receivers, the bottom of the screen. Drew Hill in motion. Ferragamo back over the middle. Drew Hill. Hill giving ground, though, and he didn't gain anything on that play. He came back to the original line of scrimmage as Charles Johnson tackled him there.
And that was a fancy play. They had 3 wide receivers in the game. They were all on the same side of the field. Then Drew Hill went across the backfield to the other side, then came back to the side that he started on. All that running, no gain.
2nd down coming up. Remember now, it's 2nd and goal. He started the 9 on this particular series, and now back to the 13. They gained a yard on that last play. Moore flanked out to the top of the screen. Denard to the bottom of the screen. That's Denard in motion. Ferragamo on 2nd and goal to Hicks. Defended against by Dwight Hicks. The Hicks boys are really hooking up in this game.
Dwight Hicks looked guilty on that one. I think he felt that he had his hand on the shoulder of the tight end, Hicks. And he looked over to the official, the deep official, to say, did I or did you see it? I watch him turn right here. The ball's incomplete. I see him turn right there and say, did you catch me?
Miller is now in, along with Denard as a wide receiver. 17-3. The Rams with the lead. Trying to add to it. Ferragamo to Miller. Touchdown. Willie Miller. Very, very well executed play over the hands of Melvin Morgan. Boy, that ball was thrown very well.
It sure was, and that's a timing pass. What you try and do is just drop back short, and then when he's on the 10-yard line, throw the ball into the end zone, up over his outside shoulder, where he can catch it, but Morgan can't do anything about it. That was a perfect throw. That's exactly where you want it, the outside shoulder.
Willie Miller, what a year he's having after coming back from that knee surgery. 5th touchdown catch of the year. Earl, the point after. Ferragamo has shown the ability to throw long, to throw on the time situations, to take something off of the call. There was a good case of good touch. As Earl adds that, we have a flag on the play. Penalty flag is down at the 1-yard line. Let's see if Corral, in fact, will get the point after, or they'll have to do it again.
They're talking about that now, and while we're waiting for them to decide who was guilty of what, the old 49er quarterback just walked in, Frankie
On
Albert.
the successful
Remember him,
try,
left-hander? He was a
the
great
defense offside will be assessed on the kickoff.
And so the point after will stand, and it's 24-3. A lot of outstanding quarterbacks here in the Bay Area. A guy by the name of Stabler, Frankie Albert, John Brody, to name a few. We'll be back in a moment. Farrell. And it's going to be Farrell from the goal line. Well, he was going to run it out. And they'll bring that out to the 20-yard line. So San Francisco, who can strike in a hurry. In fact, in the first game this year, they came back, scored 26 points under the direction of Joe Montana. And this is a type team that I suppose you can't get too comfortable with. Along with Clark, the wide receivers, Montana gives to Cooper on first down. Cooper doing a very good job of running the ball, but only gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It's a lot of running just to get back there.
And that's what happens against the Rams because they have outstanding linebackers. You know, when you have Bob Brzezinski, Jack Reynolds, Jim Youngblood, they pursue very well and they can make the plays up and down the line of scrimmage, and they play the run very well. On the pass protection, the linemen can reach out, extend their arms, and have open hands, and that's not illegal. When it's illegal is when they grab them. Defensive players always complain about being held.
20-yard pickup to the 40. Montana gets it off to Cooper. Cooper to the 44. Gain of 4. Good tackle that time by Pat Thomas. Both he and Perry had 8 interceptions each, and that's going to end our third quarter with the score. The Los Angeles Rams 24, the San Francisco 49ers 3. We now pause for a word from your local station. He suffered 1 interception. Has time to throw. Going to run. The chase is on, and he's going to get out of bounds at the 48-yard line. 3rd down and 3. Montana back. He hits Cooper. Did he get the first down? Let's see where they mark it. Oh, I don't believe he did. Or did he? It'll be awfully close. Jack Youngblood was coming back from that defensive end spot. Going to bring up 4th down. 14:48 left in this game. And I don't know. Montana trying to sneak it forward. And this is one of those left foot, right foot jobs that John Madden talks about all the time.
This really is. Where they put that ball down, it didn't look. He didn't have it initially. He had a little second effort there that may have gotten him the first down. But I'm sure that they'll have a measurement on this play because the offense, the captain of the offense, has a right to ask for a measurement. But again, it's how they spot it. Probably don't. It's probably not a first down.
They didn't get it.
Oh, you talk about a game of inches. Someone once said that.
Well, 4th down and turns it over to Los Angeles just short of the 50. Flanked out. Ferragamo to Guman. Here comes Churchman. He missed him, but he stopped him long enough for help to arrive. Preston Denard to the top of the screen. Bottom of the screen is Jeff Moore. Here's Guman again. 50, 45. Lowers his head to the 43. Throughout the course of this year. Here's Cullen Bryant with a first down. Oh, it's picked up. Terry Tatalo has it. And Tatalo brings it out to the 36-yard line. I don't know how that ball got away from Bryant.
Because Ricky Churchman hit him. We were just talking about Churchman on that play. Cullen Bryant, he had his shoulder square going to the goal line, and we'll see it again here as we watch Churchman come in. Great hole there. Watch him bounce off, and then they come in and hit him. The ball went out.
Looked like Hicks and Churchman. Away with the football. At the 36 now. Montana to Cooper. Cooper with Ayers blocking ahead of him. With a running room. Out across the 50. That'll be a first down. Montana rolling out. Little Jimmy Chase. Charlie Young wide open. Charlie Young. His 2nd touchdown catch of the year. And catch some passes here in San Francisco. As Wershing adds a point after. It's 24-10.
And there's a flag on the play. There's another penalty on this. We'll see the play again here. It's an option. He rolls out. They all come up. He throws to Charlie Young in the end zone.
Back live in New York, I'm Brent Musburger with an update. The two best quarterbacks in all of captivity may be playing in Southern California. You're watching Vince Ferragamo, but just down the road a bit in San Diego. This man, Dan Fouts, is now 25 of 37 for 415 yards. That's a 31-yard scoring strike to Floyd. And the Chargers now lead the Giants 34-7 in the fourth. Let's send you back to Gary Bender.
Well, are we going to get an onside kick? I think the Rams think so. They have no less than 9 people up. The penalty assessed against the Rams after that point, after moving the ball to 40, where she's going to kick it off. Gerald Thomas, 33, from the 10-yard line. 15, oh, and she hit. That is Terry Tatalo, a former UCLA player. And I think that last touchdown has given the 49ers the idea. 2 more scores, and they're all even again. Big block on this play.
I was going to say, that's a big block. Watch the left guard, Ken Hill, get up there. He doesn't even leave his feet. He runs right through him, hits him, knocks him down, tries to find another one. He's running like a sprinter or a halfback out in front of Gooman.
You know, at Kent Hill, they say he's the fastest lineman they have, and that was a very good example of it.
He must be one of the fastest guys in their team. I would venture to say that he is probably faster than some of their backs.
Boy, did he kick Charles Johnson out on that play. 44-yard run to the 40-yard line. All of a sudden, the Rams now. Excellent field position. Ferragamo on first down. Preston Denard, touchdown. Preston Denard. Boy, these young receivers of Hill and Denard, they can make the tough catches. The end zone. Terrell, point after attempt, is good, and it's 31-10. Los Angeles Rams well on their way to their 5th straight win. It's a football team that's been averaging about 33 points a game.
His job was setting a wall out here to the left side, and Freddie Solomon did a good job of getting to it.
Look at these games now. We talked about how big that LA-Atlanta game is. Minnesota, Green Bay, New Orleans, and Washington. Washington, a big win today over St. Louis. Detroit at Kansas City. We'll be there next week for that one. Detroit losing today, but Kansas City winning.
Right, and Detroit would like to get back and hear that song again. I'm sure that's what Monty Clark is saying tonight.
That was a 54-yard kick, by the way, by Frank Correll. Not too bad. Wide open, Charlie Young. And Young out of bounds at the 32, and Charlie's having his biggest day of the season. It's over.
And once you can get the ball to a receiver like this, it doesn't make any difference what kind of pass it is. It can be the shorter pass, because with that speed, once they get it going, they can go a long way with a little thing.
29-yard pickup, first and goal at the 5. And
what the ability or the threat to run can do, we see Joe Montana come out here, stretch the defense out, make something happen, and then there was no one at all covering Freddie Solomon.
And Ray Wershing adds it. And it's 31-17. But now 3 minutes and 24 seconds. Again, John, really does things to that secondary when you have a quarterback that can roll out.
Well, that's the thing, and it takes a little of the pressure off the offensive line. We were talking about the Ram offensive line, and they can do it by pass protection. They're good, strong pass protectors. The 49ers don't have that luxury, so they can't be there and stand and pass protect every play. They have to have a quarterback that can move, get away from some rush, and still have a chance, even if they have a breakdown in the offensive line.
With it here, well, he's kicking off. Pat Thomas, I think he's surprised. He's back at the 9-yard line. Out to the 20 and dropped there.
Taking the free kick and had a better chance. You see here,
that's a bad
the ball
snap.
was to the outside. It was a bad snap. He fumbled the ball. I would have thought that he could have come up here and just taken the penalty. I mean, just taking the 2 points. You see, once he gets out of rhythm, there's no such thing as roughing the kicker. You can run into the kicker after he bobbles the ball.
Eason Ransom was the guy that almost and did partially block that kick. Montana rolling with the ball. But after that 10-yard punt, the 49ers still have a shot at this game.
We've seen this year, and I think the best team that we've seen, that I've seen anyway, was Atlanta when they beat the New England Patriots in Foxborough.
That was a game where they came out with 3 wide receivers and Bartkowski throwing the ball. That's the only loss New England has suffered this year. New England winning again today. And, of course, the San Francisco team has stirred them up. San Francisco now will get a little bit or better break on the schedule. They've really run into a buzzsaw right now, playing L.A. and Dallas. L.A., Dallas, now L.A. again. Of course, it's not going to be easy against Tampa Bay. Los Angeles Rams have come to town with a 4-game winning streak. They've extended it to 5 with a convincing 31-17 win over San Francisco. The 49ers now have lost 4 in a row. A young football team that really gave it an excellent effort. This LA team looks like they want to return to the Super Bowl once again, the way they're playing right now.
The Rams did it again. Ferragamo 18 of 25 for 291 yards. Houston with Earl Campbell rushing for 203 yards beats Tampa Bay 20-14. The Giants routed again 44-7. Danny Fouts 25 of 37 for 415 yards. Kansas City on a tear now 23-17 over Denver. Atlanta comes back against New Orleans 41-14 is the final of that game. New England 37, Baltimore 21. New England scored the last 20 points in that game. Chicago shuts down Billy Sims, held him to 53 yards. Peyton goes over 100. 24-7 is the final. And it was Miami 17, Buffalo 14. Joe Cribbs fumbled 3 times in that game. Seattle rallied to down the New York Jets. 27-17 was the final score, and the lowly Jets lose again. 14-0 Minnesota is shut out for the first time in 7 years. Washington blank St. Louis. 23-0 is the final score in that game. Cleveland in a marvelous contest downs Green Bay 26-21 in the last 25 seconds on a touchdown pass from Sipe to Logan. And in the game of the day, it was Philadelphia 17, the Dallas Cowboys 10, and now the Eagles are all alone across atop the NFC East.
Celebrations in Philadelphia for sure, but they went into that game against Dallas feeling that that was their championship game. They pulled it off.
All right. On behalf of all of us here at CBS Sports, I'm Brent Musburger telling you that the Philadelphia Phillies have just tied Kansas City at 3. Have a nice week, everybody. We'll see you next Sunday. 60 Minutes is coming up.
The NFL on CBS is a presentation of CBS.